Regret, not very popular these days, is it? But where I think people are saying things like you should live with no regrets and you should never look back, I think that something's lost if, as they say, life were a song. I think without regret, you're missing some of the notes. And when I speak of it, I'm not talking about that I don't even have that element of, I wish that I could change this. There's tons of things that I wish I could change, but wishing you could change something and accepting that you can't, even though you feel that way, is a part of being a whole human being. It's the sort of thing that gives you a depth of experience that when you confront something new and challenging, that it won't overwhelm you because you've experienced regret, you've experienced loss, you've experienced sadness, and it gives deeper reflection on the things that you value, if only by contrast. And so, talking about regret as it relates to Japan, I have three things that I think I regret the most about coming here, about the time that I've been here. And the first would easily and most definitely be my family and my friends. And I have a bit of a unique situation in this, I think, especially because when I came was a little bit later than most people. I came to Japan when I was about 28 years old, where most people are doing this when they're coming fresh out of university, fresh out of college, whatever it might be. Whereas I came a bit later than that, and so it struck me when I left that this was a point in time, when you get to that age around 26, 28, that the people around you, they're growing up, and as a result of that, they're forging a lot of the lifelong connections and partners that they will have, which will result in them getting married. And so I've missed a lot of marriages. Bo, if you're watching this, it's one of my number one regrets of coming here was that I was never at that marriage. And the other thing that you miss when you're here and I talk about friends and family is if you get to my age, I have two brothers as well, two brothers, and both of them have children. And those kids are growing up while I'm away in another country. And so that's something that especially strikes me as a regret. It's something that I live with each day, not even to say that if I lived in Canada, I would see them frequently, but I'd be so much closer, it'd be much easier. And you miss your friends. A lot of people, they're coming to Japan, and I guess you could say they're running from something in this way or that. And I don't think that I'm entirely without that element, but one of the things I certainly wasn't running from was my friends and my family. Like, my friends are incredibly dear to me. I think one of the strongest characteristics I have is the quality of friends that I have. And so when I think about how I've missed out on important dates in their lives, it's something that I wish I could change, but I know that I can't for the way that my life has worked out because I appreciate my experience here. You can't have everything. I sat here once before for a different video and I was talking about it's not that one thing's necessarily better than the other. Life is so much about living with contrast. And so accepting that, I find peace here. I find a deeper appreciation for the people that I love and I care about, but with full knowledge that it's a great sacrifice if you are going to leave them behind. And to add some positivity to this, because it's all about these contrasts that I'm speaking about, I think the heart does grow fonder with distance, and you really do appreciate those unique moments you have when I go back each year during the summer and I get to visit them. After living here a while, there's something that I regret as much as, well, anything else that's significant to me, and that was if you are coming here and you intend to stay for a long period of time, I'm not talking about a working holiday, something like that, if you want to live here for an extended period, that If I could give any advice to somebody coming so that they wouldn't repeat the mistakes that I had made when I came, it would be to find something better than the position that you came over with almost immediately. I would say within 6 months. This is perhaps falls under the category of things I wish I knew before I came to Japan, but equally as much a regret. If you come over here, as the vast majority of people do, and as I had come, and as so many people who watch my channel do, then you probably came over to teach. And I had, and I think a lot of people do this is something I caution against, especially where it's you put your own limitations on yourself, where you undervalue yourself. Where when I came over, probably the biggest reason I had for not trying to find something better right away was that my own perceived value was I need at least a year teaching before I would even be considered by a better school, by a better board of education, to not have a middleman like one of these dispatch companies. So I had best work a year first and then move on to something else. And it's simply not true. If you work hard and if you understand the way that the systems work, the schools work, and what it is that you need to do to succeed in them, you could reach a level of experience, I would say, within 6 months of having arrived that would warrant you moving into a position that would be far better than what you had arrived with. So I would say, when you come, search early, search soon, search better, search faster for something that could improve your situation, and try as best you can not to get tunnel vision. And by that I mean, don't go down all the predictable tracks to try and find different work. The easiest one is going to be something like Gaijinpot. It's hugely oversaturated. It's something that if you go into Gaijinpot, the moment you submit your resume, you're probably competing with another 200 resumes that were submitted there, where if you were to simply look for a slightly less popular job search site, you would already be doing better. And there's lots of them. So educate yourself quickly when you arrive, and you would do far better than I did to take so long to finally find something that improved my situation. I like what I have now. It is immensely better than what I had before. I'm surrounded by good people, but I do regret that I hadn't started that search sooner.
Gleaming black as night, cloistered in injustice, dead. Nobody is losing. Faces merge and change, but your face remains the same.
Of all things that I regret, travel probably is not what you think was one of them. I live in Japan, after all, halfway across the world from whence I came, but the truth is, it is definitely one of my most significant regrets. I think especially because I take stock of it given the amount of time that I've lived in Japan, and it's all about proximity, where when I was in Canada, sure, you've got the States there, but you got to get on a pretty significant plane ride before you could be anywhere else. But when you come to Japan and you live here like I have, on your doorstep is Thailand, Korea, you got China, and these are all places that are fascinating and interesting, and in some ways are connected to myself personally, whether it was through my studies at university, or my friends have married Chinese women or Thai women. I've got connections all over the place, and where I might have said, oh, it's not a big deal, I've been here for a year or whatever, something like that. Now at 5, it doesn't quite feel that way. I feel like this is something I need to commit to, because I've always had, at least for my own life, this I'd advocate for, don't get in an experiential rut, because I really do believe that old adage or whatever, once you're comfortable, you're not growing. And Japan is a place that it's very easy to grow comfortable in. It's beautiful, serene, peaceful, safe. I have a relatively good job to speak of now, which I'm quite happy with, although it could evolve. But when you get into that kind of thing, you forget that there's these things that really make you feel alive. Now, I have traveled in Japan. I suppose that's the one redeeming feature that I have, is that I've gone to Nikko, I've gone to Hokkaido, I've gone to Nagano, I've gone to Kyoto. A lot of snowboarding trips, actually, more of which I would like to do. But be it in Japan or be it in the greater area that surrounds it, I know that this is a regret I want to attend to, I would say within the next year or so. And I'd love to go with someone significant to me, so I'll probably be talking to that person about it. But definitely if you come to Japan and you live here, don't be seduced by just how awesome it is. Make sure that when you got these things on your doorstep that you get out and travel. The tickets are cheap. I got friends who've been all over the place because of that, and it's something really worthwhile to take advantage of. Cool, that's it for this video. I hope you liked it. Please do consider supporting me on Patreon, because that's how a channel of my size rolls along. It really, really helps, and I really, really appreciate it. Why don't you guys let me know your experiences down below. What is something that you accept, you regret? Peace.